Armor Max handed me the keys to this armored Escalade V. We're going to check it out. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Let's get right into it. Under the hood, we have a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed. It puts out 682 horsepower and then 653 pound-feet of torque. Now, before I move forward, I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. It helps out the channel a massive amount. This armored build is based off of the new 25 Escalade V, which has the new crazy split light design up front. And look at the animation there. You can see the front end is also completely blacked out. Our tire wheel setup is 285 by 40 by 24, massive wheels. And you also have massive brake calipers and rotors as well. Now this particular one is the ESV, so it's the extended version. Another cool thing about this Escalade is the key fob. They actually match the coloration to the brake caliper. When you look at the back of this Escalade V, everything looks normal until you head down to the exhaust tips. This has the smoke screen feature. That's why you have those little grates put over the exhausts. Now let's pop inside. When you take a look at the interior of this Escalade V, you'll notice that it is pretty much unchanged. You still get the cool TVs, you still get the rear climate, and just plenty of space and everything with these seats. Then once you take a look at the windows, you realize what this is all about. So yeah, bulletproof glass there. And because the doors are reinforced, you just have extra weight overall. But this has the assist function where it helps you open and close the doors. And so it actually is not difficult whatsoever to use these doors considering the extra weight. And to really see how cool this thing is, these front seats are heated, cooled, and they have massage function. And a lot of you might be wondering on the windows, so let's start it up. The windows on this car are still operable, so just press that. They don't open up all the way, but they do still open up a little bit. And if you guys don't remember, the 25 Escalade is the one with the giant screen all across the entire dash with the secondary climate screen down below. And one nice thing about this Escalade V with the armoring is it has the camera rear view mirror. And so normally, you know, they don't have the partition up yet, but once you get the partition, you really can't see through the back. But with that camera rear view mirror, you still have that function. Oh, and last thing, this is for our whole siren system that's been added to this Escalade V as well. Let's take this out and see how it performs with the armoring. Now the most interesting part about these armored cars a lot of times is how they drive. You know, when you add a bunch of weight to a vehicle, it can change the driving dynamics. And actually, we're going to start off in the mode buttons over here. Let's start off in sport mode here and see how this accelerates. So this, I'm not going to hold the brake or do any sort of launch or anything. I'm just going to floor it and we'll see how it goes. Sounds great. Let's see what this is like in the touring mode. We'll go back to the sport in a little bit. I want to see how this is in the touring mode. Okay, let's go. Didn't have my seat leaned back enough for you guys to get a good view, but the thing about the new GM SUV platform that I really like is the comfort. It has height adjustable suspension, which is great for entry and exit, but another really nice part about the suspension system is the comfort going down just regular roads like this, and then also when you go over bumps. The Escalade is a body-on-frame SUV with independent suspension in the front and the rear, which if you're looking for isolation, that's the best setup to go for. When you go over a bump with the independent suspension, it's going to isolate it to that one side, and then the frame is going to take most of the impact of a bump, and only a little bit's going to go into the body itself. Now the torque on this thing is crazy. It has tons of low-end torque, and the braking, again, it's a heavier vehicle, but it still brakes just fine. Yeah, you just have this instant response out of the supercharged V8, which is really fun. Pop back into the sport mode. we've experienced, oh, skip past it. We've experienced enough touring. The exhaust does little burbles out of the back. I don't know if that's gonna pop up on camera, but it's a pretty cool sound. And the other thing that's kind of like an added benefit of an armored car is the insulation you get because of the thicker glass and everything. Yeah, that's fun. But yeah, you get this, you have thicker glass, and so it makes so there's even less sound that comes in. And obviously the main purpose is for protection, but and this thing still handles pretty well too. You don't really lose your handling dynamics. And again, this is a big, I think this weighs like 6,000 pounds base before the armoring. This is already a big SUV, but it does pretty well for what it is. That's crazy. Like, this is like, I see the Escalade as like a luxury mom car. I know that people get this for like a status symbol, right? But I kind of see it as a luxury mom car, and so it's funny this thing has so much power. And again, the most impressive thing about this powertrain is the low end torque. So this has more than enough power to move the armored part of things, like no problem whatsoever. It is very impressive. And I think there's a reason, like, now that I've driven, this is the first time I've ever driven an armored Escalade, I now understand why this is, like, Escalades and Suburbans and Yukons, I understand why this is the go-to car for armoring. The space, right, so you can fit a lot of people, and then it can handle the extra weight really, really easily, which is another big benefit. And it looks cool, right? But yeah, the ability to move people and the ability to move the weight is great. I mean, this is kind of like as close as you can get to a street car that's a tank because of the size and because of the armoring. So let me know what you guys think about the armored Escalade. But I could see like well, I guess the president has like a custom vehicle, but like I could see like a president or someone like that driving in something like this. And the horsepower, like, actually, like I said, the horsepower really does make sense because of moving the weight. And then if you have to get out of a dicey situation, well, you got almost 700 horsepower to get you out. Let me know your thoughts.